This is Lauren, a 43-year-old woman with difficulties with sensory processing and integration. She has experienced difficulties with motor coordination and sensory differences, which have impacted her ability to study, participate in daily activities, and her relationships with others ever since she can remember. She never received a formal diagnosis as a child, but after a recent experience of taking her son for an occupational therapy assessment, she realized that she had been experiencing the same sensory differences as him all along. To see how sensory processing and integration differences can affect adults in everyday life, take a look at a typical day in Lauren's life. Lauren has just dropped her children off at school and is contemplating taking her dog for a walk. It is raining and she doesn't feel like going, but if she doesn't go for a walk in the morning, she feels dysregulated and has difficulty concentrating on her work. Here, the sensory processing and integration challenge is sensory regulation. Lauren needs regular movement to regulate herself. Lauren has received a furniture delivery for her home office. She feels very frustrated with herself as she didn't book the assembly service because the bookshelf she ordered looked like it would be easy to put together. However, when she started to look at the materials and the instructions, she could not figure out how to do it and found herself getting more upset the more she tried to do it. As her partner, who would be able to help, is away for a few days, she will have to leave all the pieces out, which annoys her as she really wanted to sort out the room. Here, the sensory processing and integration challenges may be difficulties with praxis, motor planning, and motor coordination. Lauren has a video call for her newly set up business. She recently set up her own consulting business after finding it increasingly difficult to deal with the noise in the open plan office where she used to work. Whilst she finds home more comfortable to work in, she is quite looking forward to the call as it has been a big change going from a busy office environment to having no one to talk to during the day. Here, the sensory processing and integration challenge is sensitivity to noise. It is sports day at her son's school and Lauren is dreading it. Last year, her son asked her to participate in a parent's obstacle course, and she found it difficult to navigate the obstacles. She felt embarrassed afterwards, as everyone else seemed to enjoy it and manage just fine. Lauren felt as if everyone was judging her. Here, the sensory processing and integration challenge is difficulties with praxis, that is, motor planning. After just surviving the hustle and bustle of the sports day, Lauren and her son are at the supermarket to pick up some food for supper. She meant to put in an online order but forgot. She really dislikes going to the supermarket and cannot stand the bright lights and all the noise. It always feels like she's in the wrong place at the wrong time, as every time she goes to the supermarket, someone tends to bump into her trolley, which makes for an unpleasant experience. Lauren cannot wait to get home. Here, the sensory processing and integration challenges are difficulties with praxis, i.e. motor planning, and sensitivity to noise and light. Lauren finally has time to relax after an exhausting day. She looks forward to trying out a new aromatherapy product that she ordered, which is supposed to help you sleep better. Even though Lauren is tired at the end of the day, she is unable to wind down at night and often finds it difficult to sleep, which leaves her more exhausted the next day. Here, the sensory integration and processing challenge is difficulties with regulation and arousal, that is, how alert and awake she feels. In summary, Lauren's difficulties with sensory processing and integration may include being under or oversensitive to sounds, textures, flavors, smells, or other sensory input, having difficulty carrying out new activities and motor coordination, having difficulty with bumping into things and knowing where her body is in space, seeking or avoiding certain types of movement, and difficulties with regulation and arousal, how alert or awake she feels. Many adults present with sensory processing and integration differences that can impact all aspects of their daily life. Whilst they might have found strategies to adapt to situations on their own, there are more variables and external factors to deal with as an adult, and it is not so easy to avoid situations that are stressful due to sensory differences. Visit sensoryintegrationeducation.com for more resources.